The Pied Piper of Hamelin. Once upon a time, on the banks of a great river in the north of Germany, lay a town called Hamelin. The citizens of Hamelin were honest folk who lived contentedly in their grey stone houses. The years went by, and the town grew very rich. Then one day, an extraordinary thing happened to disturb the peace. Hamlin had always had rats, and a lot too, but they had never been a danger, for the cats had always solved the rat problem in the usual way by killing them. All at once, however, the rats began to multiply. In the end, the black sea of rats swarmed over the whole town. First, they attacked the barns and storehouses. Then, for lack of anything better, they ignored the wood cloth or anything at all. The one thing they didn't eat was metal. The terrified citizens flocked to plead with the town councillors to free them from the plague of rats. But the council had for a long time been sitting in the mayor's room trying to think of a plan. What we need is an army of cats, but all the cats were dead. We'll put down poisoned food then. But most of the food was already gone, and even poison did not stop the rats. It just can't be done without help, said the mayor sadly. Just then, while the citizens milled around outside, there was a loud knock at the door. Who can that be? The city fathers wondered uneasily, mindful of getting angry crowds. They gingerly opened the door, and to their surprise, there stood a tall, thin man dressed in brightly colored clothes, with a long feather in his hat and waving a gold pipe at them. I've freed out the towns of beetles and bats, the stranger announced, and for 1,000 florins I'll rid you out of your rats. 1,000 florins? Exclaimed the mayor. We'll give you 50,000 if you succeed. At once the stranger hurried away, saying, It's late now, but at dawn tomorrow there won't be a rat left in Hamelin. The sun was still below the horizon when the sound of a pipe wafted through the streets of Hamelin. The Pied Piper slowly made his way through the houses, and behind him flocked rats. Out they scampered from doors, windows, and gutters. Rats of every size, all after the piper. And as he played, the stranger marched down to the river and straight into the water up to his middle. Behind him swarmed the rats, and every one was drowned and swept away by the current. By the time the sun was high in the sky, there was not a single rat in the town. There was even greater delight at the town hall until the piper tried to claim his payment. 50,000 florins? Exclaimed the councillors. Never. 1,000 florins at least, cried the piper angrily. But the mayor broke in. The rats are all dead now, and they can never come back. So be grateful for 50 florins, or you'll not even get that. Oh, his eyes flashing with rage, the Pied Piper pointed a threatening finger at the mayor. You'll bitterly regret ever breaking your promise, said and vanished. A shiver of fear ran through the councillors, but the mayor shrugged and said excitedly, We have saved 50,000 florins. That night, freed from the nightmare of the rats, the citizens of Hamelin slept more soundly than ever. And when the strange sound of piping wafted through the streets at dawn, only the children heard it. Drawn as by magic, they hurried out of the homes again. The Pied Piper paced through the town, but this time it was children of all sizes that flocked at his heels, On the sides of the strange piping, the long procession soon left the town and made its way through the wood and across the forest till it reached the foot of a huge mountain. When the piper came to the dark rock, he played his pipe even louder still, and a great door creaked open. Below lay a cave. It in trooped the children behind the Pied Piper, and when the last child had gone into the darkness, the door creaked shut. A great landslide came down the mountain, blocking the entrance of the cave forever. Only one little lame boy escaped this fate. It was he who told the anxious citizens searching for the children what had happened, and no matter what people did, the mountain never gave up its victims. Many years were passed before the merry voices of the other children would ring through the streets of Hamelin, but memory of the harsh lesson lingered in everyone's heart and was passed down from father to son through the centuries. The next story is The Snow Queen.